What's going on, guys? It's Luke here. Two trades today. Going to go over these trade recaps. We had one trade on NQ and one trade on ES. The ES trade ended up actually hitting take profit. This was our take profit, but if you actually look at MES, which is where I took the trade on, we actually ended up taking out this draw right here, which was my target, but I'll get into that after. And then NQ ended up taking a break-even trade, which was our first setup. So let's get into the NQ trade first. So starting at the higher time frame, we're obviously in bullish order flow. We took out all-time highs. Price was trending higher. If you look at the 4-hour, we were within and respecting this 4-hour bullish FEG. So personally for me, I was looking for sell side to get swept and then for a move back up to take out the pre-market high and then continuation up, right? So after market open, price immediately came down and swept out the London low. So from here, I noticed that we were forming an SMT. As you can see, ES was still trading higher, respecting this hourly bullish fair value gap right here. And NQ had came down and swept the London low. So for me, I was looking at this like here, I scaled down. I'm seeing that bullish order flow is kind of being not disrespected, but I'm seeing that we have an SMT in play. I see that we swept out the London low. I'm looking for a move up to come up, take out this, at least up to this lower time frame swing high. And then I want to see price push up and take out the pre-market high and then continue up to take out those higher time frame draws. Once again, we have this SMT. ES is trading higher. It's leading. NQ is our lagging index. It took out the London low. So from this point here, I'm looking to enter the trade. And this was my entry right here. So basically on the 1 minute, we had an inverse of this bearish fair value gap. We closed above it. Then we broke back to the downside. And a lot of people were probably looking to go short here, but then we had this strong break back into the upside right here. So this ended up being my entry right here. And I put my stops all the way here below the swing low, giving it a little bit of room. So this was my entry right here at the 941 or 940 candle before the macro, which wasn't ideal, but I seen this setup. I seen that we swept London lows. I seen that ES was leading. We had an SMT getting formed. The 1 minute inverse the bearish fair value gap. I seen the order flow starting to shift, gave the stop loss some room. And basically what I did was I targeted this swing high for break even. I targeted pre-market high, and then I targeted above that to the higher time frame hourly highs. So as soon as price came up and took out this lower time frame high right here, I moved my stop loss to break even. And then as you can see, price came down, took us out break even, and it just basically hovered around, and then price ended up moving down from there, right? So at this point, after we had taken out, I was kind of looking for shorts at this point. I figured that when we look at ES, at the same time, let's start on the higher time frame. If you look here, we had an SMT from the pre-market getting formed. And here, let's put this candle back right here. In the pre-market, we had made a higher high on ES. And if we look at NQ, it had made a lower high. So if you actually look at it from this point of view, we had a bearish SMT forming in the pre-market. If you look on the 4-hour chart, the 4-hour is actually still respecting this 4-hour bearish fair value gap. And you have to keep in mind at this point, ES hasn't taken out that London low, which NQ has. So this can easily be a target. This weak opening gap can be a target right here. And then we could continue to run it down to here to take out all the rest of this sell side liquidity. But if you just look at this right here, you see that we have sell side, sell side, sell side, and the new weak opening gap and all of this down here, which should be, pretty free liquidity, right? So eventually price just started to trade down, and I seen bearish order flow getting respected on the 15-minute. We had this 15-minute bullish fair value gap here holding for a good bit, and then we ended up breaking below it. So then I went to the 5-minute, and I seen the 5-minute order flow was being respected bearish, like consistently. We had a 5-minute push to the downside. We respected this 5-minute bearish fair value gap right here. I didn't get an entry here, but then on the 5-minute, we shifted back down, and then we formed a new 5-minute bearish fair value gap right here. And this is where I decided to look. So I said, if price was going to retest this 5-minute bearish FEG, we got to keep in mind we have, once again, that higher time frame SMT playing out. 15-minute just inverse the 15-minute FEG. We came back in. We're poking back into it. We're looking for price to come lower to at least take out these higher time frame sell side draws into this weak opening gap. We look at the 5-minute, we pushed down, we're respecting a 5-minute bearish FEG. And then I scaled to the 1 minute, and I just entered straight up right here off of this 1 minute inverse fair value gap right here. So if you could see, we had a tiny little bullish fair value gap get run through, and this was my entry right here on that 1047 right after that candle closed. I gave my stop a good bit of room. I put it above this 1 minute FVG up here, and all of this imbalanced price action that could have easily been retested as like a last line of defense. So this was my entry right here, and basically as soon as we took out this low and started to fill in this gap, I moved my stop loss to break even, and I took off about 50% of the trade at that point. And at that point it was already 10:53, so not the greatest risk to reward, but right around here I closed out about 50% on this wick down on this. We had a huge bearish candle get formed. I closed it manually right about here at about 62.8825, somewhere around there, and I moved my stop loss to break even. And then I left the other 50% to kind of run, and I wanted to see this New York AM low get taken out right here at 6279.50. But I took this trade on MES, so if you actually look at the same thing, we ended up tagging this low right here. Just luck of how it is sometimes. So we ended up tagging that out and ended up taking our last 50% off there and closed the trade. So that gave us about 2.75 R total on that trade. So that was it for the ES trade. So we ended up catching that, pretty much literally bottom taking it on MES for 2.75 R, and then NQ we ended up getting stopped out break even. So that's gonna wrap it up for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until the next one, I'll be back tomorrow. We have no news tomorrow, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll be able to catch something again. But until the next one, give me a like, subscribe, comment on the video, follow me on Twitter, link in the description if you guys want to support the channel. Until the next video, I'll see you guys then. Peace.